Good afternoon, one and all present here. Good afternoon, one and all present here. First, I would like to thank our TMHNU management for providing this excellent platform for the teaching and learning community. And also, I extend my thanks to our Board Principal Sir, Vice Principal Sir, Placement Officer Dr. C. K. Sir, and HOD of CSC Department, Mr. Madhaviraj Sir. Now I give the podium to our students to give the welcome address.
Well, good afternoon to one and all present here. We are only as strong as we are united, as weak as we are divided. And I request all the students to stand up for Namaskar Vardu. Please be seated. Now I call upon Ms. M. Sonia to deliver the welcome address. A pleasant afternoon to everyone present here. Today, IIPC, along with Computer Science and Engineering, has planned to organize a webinar on multi-cloud technology. First of all, I would like to welcome our Honorable Secretaries, Mr. E. Rajkumar Sir and Mr. A. Mageshwaran Sir. Then I would like to extend my welcome speech to our Joint Secretary, Mr. S. Naveen Ram Sir. I feel great to welcome the pillar of our college, Dr. C. Mageshwaran Sir, Principal of our college, to this occasion. Next, I welcome our Vice Principal, Mr. N. Madhavan Sir, and our Placement Officer, Dr. C. K. Sir, for this occasion. Then I welcome all the department HODs and faculties from various departments and all my dear friends. Last but not least, I feel so glad to welcome the speaker of today's program, Mr. S. Gavaskar, who is going to talk about multi-cloud technology. Once again, I welcome you all for this wonderful occasion. Thank you, Ms. Soumya. It's my pleasure to invite Placement Officer, Dr. C. K. Sir, to preside the gathering.
Thank you very much. Respected Principal, respected Vice Principal, respected HODs of various departments, my dear colleagues, and my beloved students. And it's my pleasure to, let me also welcome the man of the hour, Mr. S. Gavaskar, all right, Delivery Director of Multi-Cloud for it's a very interesting topic, which I'm not a technical man, but still, as much as I know, it is something, a technology. A cloud is a technology where we store and share information in a different, using the cloud technology in a very efficient way. I'm not going into that. What Mr. Gavaskar is going to share with you will definitely give you an in-depth knowledge of what you have to know, right? If you have, if you want me to put in a sentence, if you have to read 3 books, he can give it in a matter of 2 minutes. that kind of experience he has, right? So whatever he is going to share with you, definitely it is out of his, what you call that very, 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 very expensive knowledge. I would say it's expensive knowledge. I would coin it like that. So I'm really happy that I have the chance to felicitate Mr. S. Gavaskar on this occasion. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. And definitely the students are going to get a lot of information from you, and the information for which they might have to spend a lot of time in the libraries, in videos, and in books and other things. So thank you for being here. I'm looking forward to a wonderful session ahead. Thank you very much, sir. I thank you for being here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. N.S. Vignesh sir to facilitate the gathering.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, all of you. In this world of advanced technology, we are put up in a mandatory situation to use cloud computing everywhere. And multi-computing, as this word suggests, it is the use of multiple clouds, public cloud services from different vendors within one architecture at the same time. So, say for example, a business might use AWS for the data storage, Google Cloud Platform for the development and testing, and yet Microsoft Azure for the disaster recovery. So, having an eye-opening session for multi-cloud technologies with the Chief Pattern, Mr. S. Gavaskar, is a pure blessed one for all of us. All students are asked to utilize this opportunity to the core to explore in depth in cloud computing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful speech. Now I would like to call upon a University of Second Year CSE to address our resource person. Good evening to all present here. I'm delighted to take the opportunity to introduce the resource person for the webinar on multi-cloud technology, Mr. S. Gavaskar. He has completed his BTech IT from Anna University in the year 2001. He has completed his master's from Network and Internet Engineering from Aranya University in the year 2009. He has more than 14 years of experience in IT field with real-time projects. He has 3 advocate level degree certificates with Microsoft Azure and more than 75 certificates with Alibaba Cloud. He is the most valuable professional of Alibaba Cloud. He has 2 professional level certificates from cloud computing and development. He has 7 advocate level certificates in cloud computing, cloud security, cloud native, big data, and cloud enterprise database cloud technologies from Alibaba Cloud. He won the Innovation Award from Alibaba Cloud Global A2 Challenge 2021, in which more than 2,520 teams from over 36 countries have participated. Currently, he is working as a developer advocate in multi-cloud purview. Let us all welcome Mr. S. Gavaskar with a big round of applause.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mohanty, for addressing the resource person. Now it's time to hand over the session to our eminent person, Mr. S. Gavaskar. Welcome, you, sir.
Yes. My voice is audible? Yes, sir. Sharing is disabled. Please enable the sharing. Okay. Good afternoon, all the participants. On behalf of Multi-Cloud for You, we like to welcome all the participants, as well as we like to thank the college management for conducting this kind of session. So I hope everyone may be aware about cloud computing technologies. Now The need of the day is you have to know about the multi-cloud technologies. That's no nowadays we are getting the project from multi-cloud environment. We have to be expert in AWS, Azure, Alibaba Cloud. That's we have to be expert in all the cloud technologies. So at this juncture, I have to thank the placement cell for organizing such kind of events, and I like to thank all the faculty members on behalf of multi-cloud for. So now let me share the screen. So welcome all the participants. Before moving to the topic, let me thank the industry institute partnership cell organizers for organizing the event. Then I like to thank the president of this college, vice president, general secretary, treasurer, secretaries, joint secretary, and principal, the vice principal, and placement officer for giving us an opportunity for conducting such an event in your college. So moving to multi-cloud technologies. So moving to about myself, you got a clear introduction about myself. Again, I am going to introduce about me. Yes, I have worked as assistant professor in St. Xavier's Catholic College of Engineering. I have 14 plus years of IT experience in working across leading industries. Currently, I am a delivery director at multi-cloud for you. I have 100 plus certification from Alibaba Cloud. I have 7 plus ACA level certification from Alibaba Cloud, 2 ACP level certification from Alibaba Cloud, 3 ACA level certification from Azure, and I got cloud practitioner certification from AWS. I got accreditation from Databricks. So this is a short introduction about me. You can see more about me in the given LinkedIn profile, and you can communicate me in the given email ID. So about us, that's who we are. We are multi-cloud for you. We have over hundreds of thousands of strong community of technologies from all over the world. We deal with technical sessions, consultations, and real-time projects on multi-cloud strategy, hybrid cloud, circuit breaker, cloud migration, enterprise cloud strategy, data science, and AI, scientific computing, machine learning, deep learning, and we also deal with technical sessions, consultations on live projects on blockchain technologies, smart contracts, blockchain security, and we also deal with extreme engineering. That's a short introduction about what we are doing, what we are, and we are multi-cloud for you. You can see more about us in our website, that's www.multicloudforyou.com. So recently, we have been listed as a top 10 most promising digital transformation startup by CIO Review India. So moving to 4th generation of transformations has been associated with us. We have been continuously mentored by Bill Inman. I hope everyone may be knowing about Bill Inman. He's a father of data warehouse. He's associated with us and he's continuously mentoring us. And it is Jeff Barth. He's associate vice president of AWS. He's associated with multi-cloud for you, and he has delivered multiple sessions in our platform. And this is Anna Hoffman. She's a well-known person from Microsoft. Has associated with us, and it's Back Woody. He's a principal data scientist from Microsoft. Has been associated with us, and he has delivered a couple of sessions in our platform. That's a short introduction about what about multi-cloud for you and who are mentoring us in the path forward. So this is a team, and this is Sanjani Kumar. He's a chief vendor evangelist and chief evangelist at multi-cloud for you. He's an ex-Microsoft, and it is Diraj Singh is a volunteer evangelist of multi-cloud for you, and myself, and Gavaskar S. I am delivery director at multi-cloud for you. Along with us, we have 100 plus supporters from all over the batch. So that's a short introduction about what we are. We are multi-cloud for you. So moving to the short agenda for the session. So I hope this is a vast topic. I have nearly 50 plus slides in my row. I hope I'll be completing that. Yes. So first we are going to see what is cloud computing. So short introduction to cloud computing, and I'm going to tell you some advantages. What are the advantages of cloud computing? Nowadays, most of the organizations are moving to cloud. So why the organizations is moving to cloud, we are going to tell you. And the underlying technology which is used in cloud computing is virtualization. You may be learned this technology, virtualization, and I'm going to explain about different set of services, that is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. What are the services provided by any cloud service provider? Now you have to know one more thing. What are the things I'm going to explain? It is common to all the cloud service providers. That is the thing you have to know clearly. No? Some of the services, there may be difference between the cloud service providers. But what are the concepts? That is virtualization, cloud computing services, then networking and pricing model. These all the things are common for all the cloud service providers. That's the thing I'm going to move forward. First, I am going to explain the common terms which is used in all the cloud service providers. And then I'm going to move to the individual cloud service provider, and I'm going to explain how to spin up with the individual cloud service providers. Okay. So now we are going to see about different pricing models available in different cloud service providers. And now we are going to see in this. Now I'm going to explain you why multi-cloud part, why we have to move to the multi-cloud environment, or why it is a need of the day to move to multi-cloud. And finally, I will be showing demo to spin up with Alibaba Cloud, AWS. If time permits, I will be spinning with Azure Cloud also. Okay, that's a topmost cloud service providers available in the market is AWS, Azure, and Alibaba as well as GCP is there. Now, for this particular session, I am going to spin up with Alibaba Cloud and AWS. That's a short introduction about what I am going to deliver in this particular session. So now introduction to cloud. I hope everyone maybe there is no need for defining about cloud. Again, cloud is a delivery of on-demand resources. So if you are getting any resources, that is, it's maybe a server, a database, or storage, any services which you are getting on demand, we will tell that as cloud computing. I can tell one more real-time example. Electricity. You are getting electricity as a demand. You are going to pay for what you are going to use. The same model we are going to adopt for our computing resources. That's cloud computing. As a delivery of on-demand resources, we will tell as cloud computing. So now moving to some of the advantages of cloud computing. So nowadays, I already mentioned that. So just I will stop the video so that it will be okay. So now already I mentioned that most of the organizations are moving to cloud. Why? That's the reliability. As you know that whatever we are going to deploy an application, the application is highly reliable. There is no resource outages. Again, so if resource outages will be there, certainly recently there are resource outages are faced by AWS as well as Azure, but it will be compensated. But normally there is no downtime or resource outages. The scalability, you can scale the resource horizontally as well as vertically. You can scale the instance as well as you can scale the capacity of the instance. You can scale that scalability. Then elasticity, again, you can scale the resource on demand. That is another important concept you get to know. Whenever you require more number of instances or more number of virtual machines, you can scale that, and you can reduce the size also. That's the scalability. And agility is one of the important advantages which I like more. See, if you want to deploy an application within a span of 2 to 3 minutes, you can create an application and you can deploy your application. I will show you a demo. I will be deploying a web application in AWS. Within 2 minutes, I will be deploying a web application in AWS. I will show you a demo on this. Okay, then geo distribution. So you can deploy your application in any of the data centers available in the web. Okay, if you want less number of latency, you can deploy your application in India. So if more number of proximity user is present in India, you can deploy your application in India. And if any security constraints are there, government security constraints are there, then you can deploy your application in any of the data centers available in worldwide. That's another advantage of cloud. And of course, no cost efficiency is there. Unlimited storage is there. As your placement officer mentioned that, we can store unlimited files in the cloud, and finally backup and recovery will be there. Okay. So I will be moving it a bit faster now. So what is underlying concept used in cloud computing is virtualization and virtual machines. I'm going to explain in a short way what is virtualization and what is a virtual machine. So what is a virtualization? Now you have to know the term virtualization. So this is abstract term in cloud computing. So everyone may be focusing, we will be focusing on cloud computing, but we will be forgetting the word no virtualization. It is a computer technology by which multiple virtual machines are created in a single machine. Okay, in a single machine, you are going to create a multiple virtual machine, and how you are going to create it by using a hypervisor software. You are going to install a software, or you are going to use a virtual machine monitor. Using that, you are going to create multiple virtual machine in a single physical machine. Okay, that's the thing we will tell us. In short, we will tell us virtualization. So now you have to know this diagram. You see left side, you can see traditional computer, and right side you can see a virtualized computer. Okay, in the traditional computer, you can find hardware, single set of hardware will be there. Only single host operating system will be there, and you can install your application in the host operating system. So that is a traditional computer. Now you see, I'm going to include a hypervisor. That's virtual machine monitor. It is a software. So it can be a virtual box, Oracle virtual box, or it's maybe VMware workstation we can use. And if I'm including a virtualization layer, what is happening? I'm going to share the hardware resources. So you can have multiple virtual machine in a single hardware or physical machine. You see here, I have created two virtual machine over here. In this diagram, you can find two virtual machines, and two guest OSs will be there. The first guest OS may be of Mac OS, or second guest OS may be of Linux OS. That's the power of virtualization. So how the cloud service provider is going to provide service for you is by using virtualization concept that you have to know clearly. Okay? So that's all about virtualization. So I'm not going to explain more thing about virtualization. Yes, it will take more time. So I want to focus more on demo. So I'm going to move to the next slide. That is, yeah. So now moving to cloud computing services. So you can consider any cloud service provider available in the market. You can consider either AWS, Alibaba Cloud, or Azure Cloud. They will provide 3 cloud computing services. That is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So nowadays, you see, we are going to focus more on software as a service. That is serverless. You did not want to manage the server. You did not want to fetch the server. You did not want to maintain the runtime, data, or applications. You can plug and play. You can use the services. That's the thing nowadays. Most of the services which is present in AWS or Azure is moved to serverless. That is we'll tell that as a software as a service. So coming to infrastructure as a service. Today we are going to show you a demo on how to create a work with infrastructure as a service. That's service till virtualization. It will be managed by the cloud service provider. The cloud service provider may be AWS or Azure or Alibaba. And the operating system, the data, and the runtime and the application will be managed by the customer or by the user. And going to platform as a service, till the runtime and the operating system, all the things will be managed by the cloud service provider. You did not want to manage the operating system. You did not want to patch the operating system. Okay. So now coming to on-premise, what you have to do? You have to manage all the set of activities, end-to-end activities. That is from service, virtualization, operating system, data, and application you have to manage. That is a short introduction about different services provided by multiple cloud service providers. So now we are going to, what is the difference between traditional LAN network and virtual private cloud network? This is another term you have to know clearly, virtual private cloud. So if you are dealing with AWS or Azure or Alibaba Cloud, they will use the same term, that's virtual private cloud, for creating a LAN network. For creating a cloud network, they will use the term virtual private cloud. Now I am going to explain you the difference between traditional LAN network and virtual private cloud network. So now moving to traditional network. Yeah, moving to, I hope the diagram is a little bit difficult to visualize. Okay, You can consider traditional network. You can consider your college network, for example. Internet will be there, router will be there, and of course, firewall will be there, then switches will be there, and your endpoint computers or your endpoint systems or servers will be connected to the switches. Okay, this is a traditional network. For what purpose we will use the switches? For filtering and forwarding the data to the correct destination. We will use the switch. And for what purpose we will use the router? If you want to connect between two networks, two LAN networks, you can consider that CSE department have a separate LAN network and mechanical department has a separate LAN network. If you want to connect two LAN network, we will use router. And another thing you have to know, when you are moving to the cloud, this router will be created automatically. You did not want to create router. This will be done automatically when we are working with cloud. Okay, so you have to know what is switch in traditional LAN network, what is router. So now we are moving to virtual private cloud. The same term we are going to use here: switch, router, routing table, but it is a logical thing. It is not present physically. Physically, it is not present. It is present logically. A VPC is a private network which is established in the cloud service providers network. Okay, if you are using AWS or Azure or Alibaba Cloud, you are going to create a private network in the cloud service providers network. That we tell us VPC, virtual private cloud. So the term virtual private cloud is common for all the cloud service providers, and it is logically isolated. It is not physically. Physically, there's a virtual private cloud is not present. It is present logically. Logically, it is present, and we can add some resources. Either you can add elastic compute service, service load balancer, or relational database service. You can add in VPC. So various components as usual. Switches will be there, router will be there, and routing table will be there. The switches we will tell us vSwitch, and router we will tell us peer router. So now this is a small diagram. So internet, so it's router. So vRouter, it is not available physically. That is the thing you have to know clearly. It is a logical component, or it's a virtual component. Virtual router will be there, virtual switches will be there, and you will connect the resources with the switches. Okay, so that's a component of VPC. So you have to know the difference between traditional LAN network and virtual private cloud network. So this is a small example which I have mentioned over here. So now you see here we are going to create a VPC, virtual private cloud. So what is virtual private cloud? It is a private network you are going to create in the cloud service providers global network. So you may be going to create a separate private network in cloud service providers global network. That's we will tell us virtual private cloud. Then as usual, no, you are going to create a subnet. Different subnets you are going to create. And if you want, here I as given an example, VPC-AWC. CSE underscore subnet. It is a subnet for CSE department, and mechanical department can create a subnet for mechanical department, and they can add as much as resources for their particular subnet. Okay, this is the thing. Then region will be there, zone will be there. I will explain this later. Okay, so that's the thing. Now you see, you have to know the virtual private cloud. It is common to all the cloud service providers. Either if you're dealing with AWS or Azure or Alibaba Cloud, the virtual private cloud is same. Okay, so now we are going to another common term which we will use in any cloud service provider, pricing model. So you have to know you have to know some features that why the organization is moving to cloud. The reason is the pricing. So the upfront cost which they have to invest, for the hardware devices, they can reduce by moving to cloud. That's the main reason why the organization is moving to the cloud. And pricing is another important factor or important constraint you have to know in cloud when you are moving to cloud. That's the thing. So now I will explain you different types of pricing models available in cloud. Pay-as-you-go model. I hope everyone may be aware about pay-as-you-go model. Yes, you have to pay for the usage. There is no upfront payment. You did not want to pay prior. How long you are going to use, you have to pay for the services. Okay, it is similar to electricity. You may be using you may not be paying for electricity in advance. Its option is there, but you may not be paying for in advance. You will pay for whatever unit you have used. The same concept we are going to use in AWS or Azure or Alibaba Cloud. Any cloud service provider, this model is adopted. That's pay-as-you-go model. Then subscription model. So what is subscription model? If you want to use some services for a long time, for 1 year or 3 years, you can go for subscription. If you are going for pay-as-you-go model, it will not be a deal for you. You have to go for subscription model. That will tell us what. There is subscription instance. So that's lower the price. The price should be very, very less when you are comparing with the pay-as-you-go model. And preemptible instance is another type of instance. You can get another type of pricing model where you can have some acquisition. So most of the cloud service providers, what they will do is they will avail the spare instance. They have to know that the word spare. Spare is is freely available. Some instance, they will avail for acquisition. So what you can do is you can pay some money. You can acquire them. You can pay some money for the acquisition, and you can get the service. That will tell us pre-immutable instance. So you have to know clearly there's 3 pricing models available. Apart from this, savings plan is there. That is all the cloud service providers are using that. If you want to have some commitment of services, if you're using for 1 year or 2 years, you can go for a savings plan, and you can avail that plan also. So these are the basic plans which is available in all the cloud service provider: pay-as-you-go model, subscription model, pre-emptible instance. So now moving to cloud service. Moving to different cloud service providers available in the market. Okay. So whether my voice is audible, sir? So it's correct? It's audible? Hello? Hello? Yeah, you can respond. Hello? Yes. So now we are moving to different cloud service providers available in the market. So I have picked the top 3 cloud service providers available in the market. The first one is AWS. AWS is a cloud computing platform provided by Amazon. I hope everyone may be knowing about Amazon. And it provides a mixture of services. That is what it provides: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. And you have to know one more thing here. It is the first company which has introduced pay-as-you-go model. AWS is the first organization or first enterprise which has introduced pay-as-you-go computing model. And moving to Alibaba Cloud, it is a cloud computing company, and it is a subsidiary of Alibaba Group. Its international operation is registered in Singapore, and is ranked #1 by Gartner in Asia Pacific region. So we are in Asia Pacific region. In our region, Alibaba Cloud is ranked 1 and ranked 4th in worldwide. And Azure, going to Azure, it is ranked #2 in worldwide, and it has 100+ services. It has also services such as platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, and platform as a service. So now this is a market share which is shared between different cloud service providers. AWS is leading first, and then you can find Azure, and there is a competition between Google Cloud and Alibaba Cloud. I hope 5 to 6% of market share is with Alibaba Cloud and Google Cloud. Then again 22 to 25% of market share is with Microsoft Azure, and 50 to 50%, nearly 45 to 50% market share is with AWS. So now moving to the hot topic of the day: why multi-cloud? So different cloud service providers are there. Alibaba Cloud is there, AWS is there, Azure is there. And why we are going to deal with multi-cloud? Why we need multi-cloud? Why we need the knowledge of multi-cloud? We can see. I have mentioned a few factors. So first factor is cost optimization. So you see, different services will be provided by different cloud service providers, and some cloud service provider the cost factor will be less. We cannot tell that it is too less. Somewhat it will be lesser than some other cloud service provider. So the organization will choose their cloud service partner based on the cost optimization, based on the cost factor. This is the first reason I pinpoint why we are going to multi-cloud. And this is the second reason, is a hybrid cloud environment. As one of the faculty mentioned that you will be using different cloud services from different cloud service provider. I can tell one scenario. Now I am working with Azure Data Factory. I hope everyone may be knowing about what is Azure Data Factory. It's a data engineering tool of Azure, Microsoft Azure. So now what I had to do in Azure Data Factory is I had to work with AWS S3. S3, I hope you know that S3 is the object storage service. So I had to get the file from S3, and I had to do some analytics by using Azure Data Factory. So now you see here, when you are working with cloud, multi-cloud, hybrid cloud environment, you have to know the knowledge of multi-cloud. You have to know about AWS, as well as you have to know about Azure. That's the need of the day. That's the thing. If you want to work with multiple cloud environment or multiple cloud service providers, you have to know the knowledge of multi-cloud, how the cloud is working. First, you have to know about cloud and how it is working. You have to know. And you see another point why we are going to multi-cloud is service advantages. Now I already mentioned that data engineering, Azure Data Factory is one of the two. So we'll be using that Azure Data Factory for this particular. If you want to move to data engineering, we'll be using Azure. And you go for containerization. Nowadays, I hope you know that we are going to deploy your application as a container application. We will be using Docker containerization tool. We will be using that. If you are moving to containerization, Alibaba Cloud has a good set of tools for working with. So they will choose ACK. Okay. Then storage, as your placement officer told, if you are moving to the storage, no, S3 is a pioneer. We will go for S3. And if you are going for compute service, it is for the elastic compute service. That's the EC2. EC2. It is a service of AWS. We are going to use. It's based on the service advantage. We will be choosing the multi-cloud. We are supposed to use multi-cloud in our cloud in our day-to-day activities. So you see, in our scenario, I can tell in multi-cloud for you, we are using for storage. We are using AWS. Then again for data engineering, we are using Databricks as well as ADF. And again for compute service, we may be using Elastic Compute Service. That's from AWS. Elastic Compute Service. Again, Elastic Compute Service from Alibaba Cloud. So this is a need of the day. You should be, as a student, once you are graduated, you should have a clear knowledge on multi-cloud. That is a need of the day. Yes, that's the thing. That's about short introduction about multi-cloud for you. So it's the multi-cloud. Now I'm going to give short introduction about what is AWS and what is Alibaba Cloud. So now this is introduction about AWS. Already I mentioned the introduction about AWS. It can be mixed of services, that's platform as a service and software as a service and infrastructure as a service. So now you got to know about the global infrastructure of Alibaba Cloud. There is 81 availability zone and 25 geographic regions are present in AWS. And as I mentioned, VPC, how to create a VPC and how to create Elastic Compute Service we are going to see. So VPC is a common term in all the cloud service providers. In the multi-cloud environment, when you are working with multi-cloud, VPC is a common term in all the cloud service providers. Now we are going to see how to create a VPC in AWS first. Okay. Now we are moving to virtual private cloud. So already I mentioned when I am explaining about virtual private cloud, it is a private network you are going to create in a global infrastructure of any cloud service provider. So in AWS also, we will tell this as a virtual private cloud. So once you are going to create an internal network in the global infrastructure of any cloud service provider, we will tell that as a virtual private cloud. And you see here the pricing, that's another important factor you have to know over here. The pricing, it is what? There is no charge for creating the VPC. But the resources which you are going to create in the VPC, it is charged. The pricing is an important term, you have to know when you are working with the cloud. Okay, so there is no pricing for virtual private cloud, usage of virtual private cloud, but there is a pricing for the services which you are attaching to virtual private cloud. It may be a NAT gateway, it may be internet gateway, it may be Elastic Compute Cloud, EC2, or it may be S3. It's no S3, we cannot attach with the VPC or any other services. No, that will be charged for. Now, as usual, we are going to see some of the terms which is used in VPC of AWS. Virtual private cloud, subnet, routing table will be there. So if you want to connect your resources with the internet, If you want to connect your subnet with the internet, we need an internet gateway. We need an internet gateway. So the different terms you have to know in VPC of AWS. And how we can manage the resource, how we can create a resource in VPC, how we can create resource in VPCs by using management console, command line interface, SDK, and API. These are the different mechanisms which we are using for interacting with VPC, or for creating the VPC, for managing the VPC, or for deleting the VPC. We will use management console, command line interface, SDK, and API. In this particular demo, I will be using AWS management console. So now we are going to have a short introduction on the basic compute service. That's I already mentioned in the agenda that I'll be explaining about infrastructure as a service. Introduction to Elastic Compute Cloud instance in AWS. First, we are going to see what is EC2. It is a compute service. It is a server. It's a virtual server, we can tell. It's a virtual server which is provided by Alibaba Cloud. It's not Alibaba Cloud, it's Amazon, AWS. It can be used to build and host our application. We can use this EC2 instance for hosting our application. And another important feature is we did not want to provide the upfront cost for using the EC2 instance. What you can do is you can use that, and you can pay for the resources which you have used. That's we can use pay as you go model. We did not want to have we did not want to pay upfront cost. And another advantage of EC2 instance is we can scale up and scale down the resource, or scale up and scale down the EC2 instance based on the demands. That is also possible. So now moving to EC2 instance, you have to know different tabs. When you are moving to EC2 instance in AWS, you have to know what is instance. It is a virtual machine. Normally, virtual machine we will tell us instance. So when you are going for a management console, it will show launch instance. So if an instance is a word you have to know. Then Amazon machine image you have to know. So if you want to load an instance, we need a operating system. Operating system we need. How we can provide the operating system is by using Amazon machine image. You have to know this. Then instance types, you have to know different instance type. Okay. Now you got to know different instance types. That is configuration of CPU, what type of configuration for the CPU, then memory, storage, network capacity. All this you have to provide for the instance. Then key pair. If you want to provide some security for your instance, you can assign a key pair for your instance. Then instance store volume. That you have to know clearly about instance store volume and EBS volume. There's clear difference is there between instance store and EBS volume store. Instance store volume, once you terminate the instance, the data present in the instance store will be deleted. But in case of EBS volume, it will be persistent. That's a persistent storage, you can tell. So I will explain this when I will show the demo. What is instance store volume and EBS store volume? Okay, this is the thing you have to know clearly. Then region and availability zone. So once you are going to launch the instance, you have to provide in which region you are going to launch the instance, and in which availability zone you are going to launch the instance. How we will choose the instances by providing the factors such as latency or some security constraints. You use for creating a region and availability zone. And security group. So security group is another important feature you will use for protecting your EC2 instance from attackers or from hackers. That's security groups. Then elastic IP. So I hope you know, without a global IP, we cannot access the EC2 instance. It is not possible to access the EC2 instance without global IP. So we can provide the IP by using elastic IP feature, which is present. Now tags, as usual, if you want to provide some tags to mention about the EC2 instance, you can provide by using tags. So these are the different terms you got to know when you are dealing with Amazon EC2 instance. So now we can move to the hands-on session. I will show you how to create VPC in AWS. Okay. So guys, I am not going to show you how to create AWS account. Okay, that's, I hope that you may know how to create AWS accounts. Yes, I'm not going to create AWS account. Directly I'm going to create a virtual private cloud. Okay, VPC. So just you provide in the, this is you see, now I had to explain this. No, this is a console, AWS management console. I will explain something about this management console. Yeah, you see, this is a default dashboard of this particular management console. Now you can find the region. These are different regions available. Regions and availability zone. You see, Mumbai. This Mumbai is one of the region. This is Hong Kong is another region. This is a region. And you see this, you can manage your account. You can create organization. You can see service quotas. Then you can have billing dashboard. You can find the billing. What is the cost incurred for your services? You can find it in the billing dashboard, and you can find if you want to enable multi-factor authentication, you can go for security credentials. Okay, these are the things we are for administration purpose. You can use this. Now this is a region, and now you see you can find list of services. You see these are the list of services which is available in any AWS. Nearly 200 plus services are there. Databases, containers, compute, blockchain, and database. Okay, these are the different services available. Now what I am going to do is I am going to create a VPC. Just you click VPC. Yeah. Just you click. So when you are working with cloud, no, this VPC and EC2 instance, it is a basic concept you got to know clearly. Okay, so once you know this two concepts clearly, you can master any concept in any cloud service providers. Okay, so now you see these are the different VPCs available. Okay, these are the different VPCs available. In my case, no, there is only one VPC. Okay, and one more thing you have to know clearly: when you are creating a service, when you are going to one of the VPC will be created automatically. Okay, this VPC which is created automatically. You see here. This VPC is created automatically. In all the regions, if you go to, now I am going to North Virginia, you see I can find this VPC. By default, one VPC will be created. Okay. Yeah, you see here, you can find one VPC. That IP address will be this. So this is the IP address, CIDR notation. Okay. So now I will go to Mumbai. Okay, I will create one more VPC. So I'll be going somewhat faster. Okay. So so that way we can complete the VPC creation in Alibaba Cloud. Okay. So now just you click create VPC. So now you can provide the VPC name. So you can provide the VPC name. Okay, VPC. So now I can provide the CIDR notation 10.0.0. Or I will provide 192 dot. Okay, VPC I will provide 192.168.0.0/16. Okay, so now you can provide tags. Okay, you see automatically it will come. So tags, no, it is another important feature you got to know. If you want to identify some resources by using tags, you can identify. So normally it is used for identifying the resources, for grouping the resources also we can use tags. Okay. So if I want to search some NSC-VPC, I will get this resource actually. So when you are working with hundreds of resources, tagging is very, very, very important. Now, since I am working with a single resource, tagging is not, I am not going to give small importance for tagging. Okay. Now you have to create a VPC. Yeah. Now VPC is ready. Now you see the VPC is created, virtual private cloud is created. And now you see IP address. This is associated with this particular VPC. So now what I am going to do is I am going to create a subnet. Okay. So I am going to create a subnet. So just you click this subnet. Now you see, by default, 3 subnets are available. Already told that one virtual VPC is created when you are in all the regions. Okay, normally, no, when you are going to deploy your services, we will use that particular VPC only we use normally. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a subnet. Okay, so I'm going to create a subnet. Just you choose the VPC. Now you see, this is the VPC which I created till just now. NSC-VPC. Just you select this. So now you have to provide the VPC name, subnet name. Okay. So now you have to provide the IP address. Okay. So now I am providing the IP address 192.168.0.0/16. Okay. /16. This is IP address you have to provide in CIDR block. Okay, CIDR block. I hope you know about IP addressing. So now create subnet. Okay. Now subnet is ready. Yes, that's a simple way. You have to know in all the cloud service provider, this is a way we are going to use. Okay. So I am moving from AWS to Alibaba for you. How I land is from Alibaba to AWS and AWS to Azure. My landing path is like that. No? From first you have to know how to create a VPC in AWS. Then it's the same way you have to know how to create a VPC in Alibaba Cloud. Okay, so that no, you can become an expert in all the cloud service providers networking part. Okay, so now you can see routing table. By default, routing table will be created. You see, by default, routing table will be created. You can find this. This is the routing table which is present by default. Okay, now you see, I'll go subnet. Now you see here, this is a subnet which I have created just now. You click this. Now again, you can find the routing table is created automatically. So routes, you can find the routes. Okay. Then you can see the associated subnet. You can find this is a subnet which is associated with this particular routing table. Then if you want to connect to internet, you can to use internet gateway. Okay. It is also created. It is also created. Okay. That's the thing. Then about you have to know about subnet. Creating subnet and VPC. Okay, so now we are slowly moving to how to create VPC in Alibaba Cloud. We can see that also. Okay, so I will complete that. Okay, so now I will move to Alibaba Cloud. This is Alibaba Cloud. I'll go to console. I'll provide my login credentials. So now you see, this is a dashboard or management console of Alibaba Cloud. It will be somewhat different. Okay, it's somewhat different when we are comparing to AWS or Azure. Each and every management console will be different. Okay, you can find the expenses over here. Now you see here you can find your account details. Now you can find some latest information you can find over here. Okay. Now you see you can find the security score of the resources which is present which is hosted in this particular Alibaba Cloud. Okay, and you can find the recent used resources. Okay, all this you can find it over here. Now what I had to do is I had to select virtual private cloud from this. Okay, just you click over here, virtual. This you put VPC. Okay, VPC, virtual private cloud. So the term is common. That's the thing I am telling. When you are dealing with multi-cloud, the same term will be used in all the cloud service providers. Now, just you click virtual private cloud. So now you see here what I am going to do. Already I have created 3 VPC. Okay. So now I just you click create VPC. So I am going to choose the region. Now if you want, you can change the region also. Okay. But it is not, it is not. Now you see, I will choose the same 192 dot, the same password, 168.0.0/16. So the name, okay, sorry, you have to provide the name over here. VPC name, NSC VPC. Okay, I will give us NSC VPC. Now in this place, no, you have to provide the IP address for this particular VPC, 192. dot 168 dot, you see it is coming automatically. 168 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 slash 16. Okay, so now you can provide some description, demo VPC. Okay, so now you can see resource group is another feature you have to know over here. You can group the resources. Okay, so you can create a resource group that I will show you later how to create a resource group. So now I am in this case, no, I'm going to group this resource in demo so that no, if hundreds of resources are there, what you can do is you can categorize the resources. Okay, that's why we are going for resource group. Okay, so now you see here virtual switch. That's nothing but subnet. Okay, that's the time you have to know different here. Okay, when you are going to working with AWS, the term is subnet. Okay, VPC subnet. Here the term is virtual switch, vSwitch. Okay, that you have to know here. Okay, so now I am going to provide the name over here, NSC. Okay, switch 1. Okay, now the zone. Now you see in the Mumbai, 2 availability zone is there. I will select this one. I'm going to create this switch in this particular zone. Now you see automatically, you see this 24 is coming over here. Okay, or you can change this. Okay, you can change this as 1 dot, what you can provide 16. I will provide 16. Okay, 16 is not there, no issues. We can proceed with the 21. Okay, now click OK. Yes, ready. Your VPC is created. So now you see Alibaba Cloud is very simple. You see here, if you want to attach any resources, you can do it directly from here. But in case of AWS, you have to attach separately. Okay, now I will go to VPC, and now you see one of the VPC is created. Yes, 192.168.0.16. Just you click this. Now you see you can find what are the resources attached. You see you can find what are the resources attached to this particular VPC. What is the CIDR block we are going to use? Okay, cloud interface network. If you are going to connect to networks, no, that also you can do that. Okay, so these are the things. Now NAT gateway is there, internet gateway is there. Okay, I told already what is internet gateway. If you want to associate your VPC to the external web, to the connect to the internet, we use for internet gateways. Here also the same term we are going to use. NAT gateway is also there. You understand? So that's the thing about how to work with VPC in Alibaba Cloud. Okay. So now I will move to AWS. Okay. It's not AWS, Azure. How to create a network. Okay. How to create a VPC in Azure. Okay. So now just I can show only the demo. I have no subscription. Okay, here you see in Azure, everything will move with subscription. Okay, you can switch the directory and you can move to the subscription. So this is my company account. You see here, these are the different directories present: default directory, multi-cloud foreign directory. So now I am with multi-cloud foreign directory. Similarly, different directories you can create. Okay, so same organization can create a different directories and they can work with that. Okay, so now we see I am going to create a network. Okay, so network, yeah, network connections. Okay. Yeah, virtual network. You understand the term here is it's a virtual network. Okay, so in AWS the term is virtual private cloud. In Alibaba Cloud again it's virtual private cloud, but now in Azure it is virtual network. Just you have to click this. Okay, so this is now you see you just click create virtual network. Yeah, now you have to create a subscription. Okay, and the resource group. Okay, so now you have to provide some name for this particular virtual network. Okay, so I will give some demo. Okay, so now you see you have to provide the IP address. Okay, in CIDR rotation you have to provide the IP address. So now again you have to provide the security details. Okay, if you want to DDoS protection is needed. If you are enabling, you have to pay for that. Western host, if you want to protect your, if you want to enable Western host for this particular virtual network, you can do that by using Western host. Then if you want to attach a firewall service for this particular network, no, you can do that. So now, as usual, we move to the tags. Okay, we provide some tags. So now you see, you have to click review and create. Now you see, for me, it is not possible. I cannot create that. Okay, it's not possible for me to create. You see, I have no subscription for this. Okay, so we are working with Azure Data Factory for this Azure. No, in Azure we are working with Azure Data Factory. Okay, so I have no subscription for creating a network, so I cannot create this. You understand? So that's the thing. No, I hope you got a good understanding on what is VPC, virtual private cloud, how we can create a virtual private cloud in AWS, how we can create a subnet in AWS, and how we can attach the resource in AWS. Similarly, how we can create a VPC in Alibaba Cloud, and how we can create a vSwitch. That's the thing. Time difference is there. In AWS, we will tell that as subnet, but in case of Alibaba Cloud, it is vSwitch. How to create a vSwitch and how to attach a resource in the vSwitch. Okay, and then we learned how to create a virtual network in Azure. So Azure, the time is different. No, you see, when you are comparing with AWS, Alibaba Cloud, the times will be different in Azure. Okay, so you have to know that it's create a virtual network. You have to create, but you see the same pattern is followed over here. You are providing the IP address, but here no security. Some additional features are there. Okay, and tags, no, same place. Everywhere we use tags. Okay, in the basic details you see here, subscription will be there, resource group will be there. But in our case, no, Alibaba Cloud, it is resource group will be there. But in AWS, there is no subscription and resource group. It's not present over there. That's the thing you have to know clearly. Okay, so now we can move to the slides. So now this is the creating VPC in AWS. First you have to log in. Already I have done that. Then you have to provide the CIDR point. Okay, classless interdomain routing you have to provide. And then finally you have to create a subnet. Okay, that's where subnet is going. Okay. So now, now we can move to how to create a resource or how to create EC2 instance. Okay. So infrastructure as a service, no, you will tell in AWS, we will tell that as EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud. And in case of Alibaba Cloud, we will tell that as ECS, Elastic Compute Service. Okay. In case of Azure, we will tell that as a virtual machine. Understand the terms are, but all are going to do the same purpose, but the term is different. That you got to know clearly. So how to create a EC2 instance, how to create an infrastructure service, or how to create compute service, we are going to see. First, we have to launch the instance. We have to create launch the instance by using EC2 dashboard. Then we have to choose the AMI image, Amazon Machine image you got to choose. Then you have to provide the number of CPUs, RAM capacity, storage, everything you have to provide. Then you have to choose the subnet and public IP address you have to provide. So I hope you know public IP address is very, very important. If the public IP address is not provided for this particular instance, you cannot access from the external web. Then you have to add the storage. Okay, elastic block storage you have to add. Now I will show you the difference between what is elastic block storage and instance storage. I will show you. Okay. Now security group you have to add for the instance. So what kind of traffic can go inside our EC2 instance and come out from the EC2 instance. Then you have to provide it in the security group. Security group is very, very, very important. Yes, you have to know clearly. If you want to protect your instance from external attacks, you have to configure security groups. Now again, you see here the term security group is same in AWS and Alibaba Cloud and Azure also. Okay, so now we can move to creating instance in AWS. Then I will show you how to create instance in Alibaba Cloud, and then I will show you how to create virtual machine. It's not instance. We will tell the word virtual machine in Azure. Okay, so now we can move to this. So this is about Alibaba Cloud. Now, time is not there, so I will move to this. Okay, now you see this is virtual VPC creation. How to create the VPC. So now this is what this is creating instance. Okay, this is you see. You have to provide basic configuration, networking you have to provide. You have to provide system configuration. That is nothing but the instance types you have to provide over here. Then you have to group the instance, tagging you have to provide, resource group you have to provide. Yes. Then you have to provide the preview the instance and you have to create the instance. Okay, that's it. So now we are going to we are going to see how to create EC2 instance or infrastructure as a service in AWS. First, we are going to see how to create in AWS. Okay. So students, you can use either you can go for Alibaba Cloud. First, you can learn Alibaba Cloud. Then you can traverse to AWS. Then you can traverse to Azure. Or you can do like this. No? First, you can learn Azure. Then you can traverse to Alibaba Cloud. And then you can traverse to AWS. Okay. So that's a key to learn to be expert in multi-cloud or to learn multi-cloud. Okay. So now you see, first I am going to do, what I am going to do is I am going to create an instance in AWS. Okay, first I am going to create an instance in AWS. So now this is, as usual, I told already, this is what? This is a dashboard. Okay, AWS Management Console. This is AWS Management Console. Just you provide EC2. Okay, EC2. And one more thing I had to add over here. When you are moving to Google Cloud, yes, I didn't mention Google Cloud over here. Google Cloud, it is different. Okay, somewhat the name will be different. We will move the project. First, we will create a project. Then we will add some resources in the project. Okay. So now EC2. Just you click EC2. Yeah. So now our EC2 dashboard is ready. Okay, this is a dashboard for EC2. Now you see, you can find set of resources, set of EC2 instance which is created over here. Okay. Now you see currently there is no instance. Okay. Now you have to know the regions where you are going to create the EC2 instance. Now you see if you are creating this instance over here, if you are clicking this no, the instance will be created in North Virginia. Okay, so you should be clear. So if you are creating an instance in North Virginia and if you are not monitoring it, the instance will be running over here, but you don't know that. The cost will be incurred for you. Okay, you should be clear. So you should be very cautious when you are working with the cloud. So now you see, I'm going to create in Mumbai. So yeah, now you see over here. I'm going to launch the instance. Okay. Now you see you can launch the instance either by clicking this. Clicking this, you can launch the instance, or you can, yeah, you see launch instance. If you can create some instance and you can set that instance as a template, and you can launch that instance from the template also. But now I'm going to launch the instance. But barely I'm going to launch it. Okay, I'm not going to launch from the template. I'm going to create instance from the scratch. Yeah, it's ready. Yes. So now this is the launch pad. We can tell launch pad for our instance. So now you see here. Now each and every time, the AWS will change the user interface. Now this is a new user interface. I am not too much familiar with this. Okay, so now I am going with old experience. Okay, so I am going with opt out to old experience. Now you see here all the details are present in a single page. Okay, so all the details for creating the instance will be present in a single page. Okay, now I am going to use the old GUI. Okay, so I will click this. Yeah, study. Okay. So now I hope you have to remember the terms which I told in when I'm explaining about AWS. What are the terms I told you have to know? Okay. So first, what you have to do is Amazon Mission Image you got to choose AMI. Okay. So now you see here, as usual, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the basic image. The reason is what? The price. No, if you are going to choose Windows, no, it will be cost more. Okay. So I am not going to choose that. Now it is under free tier. You see, it's free tier eligible. So it will not cost for you. Okay, 750 hours per month it is free for you. You can use this instance for 750 hours in a month. It is free. It will not incur any cost for you. So I'm going for this. Since it is a demo purpose, I'm going to choose this instance. Okay. So just you click select. Yeah. So now you see here, you have to provide the storage option. You see, this is a storage option. You have to provide T2.micro. It's not storage option. Instance type you have to provide over here. Instance type. You got number of virtual CPUs, memory, internal storage you have to provide. Okay. Now you see, this is free tier eligible. Since it's a demo, no, I'm sticking with the free tier. Okay. So now what I had to do is, so I had to choose this. By default, it will be chosen. If you want to provide, if you want to work with the heavy workload, you can go for 2x large. You see the RAM capacity is 32 GB. Okay, 32 GB. Now you see, you can find 192 GB RAM capacity also. You see here, you can find you see the 1024 GB capacity RAM is also there. If you want to run big data workloads, no, we have to go for such kind of instance. Okay. So now if you are choosing this instance, no, it will cost more. So be cautious. Since it is a demo, so now what I am going to do is I am going to choose. I got to check whether I have choose some other instance or not. Okay. So now I had to choose this. Okay. So now what you have to do? You have to click next. Okay. Now you have to provide the network where you are going to create the instance. Okay. Now you see I have created on IIPC. It is coming over here. Now you see here I am not going to choose this. The reason is I didn't set up the internet gateway. Okay. So I am going to choose the default VPC which is present over here. And you see it is coming. The subnets which are present in this VPC it's coming over here. Now you see here, auto assign a public IP address is very, very important. Okay, if you are not assigning the public IP address, you cannot access the particular instance from the external web or from the internet. You cannot access that. So you have to click enable. Okay. So now the rest of the thing, host type. Now you see here, you can provide as default. Now DNS is not needed. Okay. Now the placement group is not needed. Okay. If you want to have some placement group, that's what you can create, whether to create an instance in the same machine or different machines in different availability zone. If you want to increase the availability of your particular instance, you can go for a placement group. Then IAM role, I'm going to for IAM. Okay, now yes. So now all the things, no, I'm making this default. Okay, and user data. So now you see here, if you want, when you're launching the instance, if you want to run some application, if you want to install a web server, Apache server, or a Nginx server, and if you want to run your application, you can provide that data over here. So now what I'm going to do, I am going to provide some data over here. I already I have some data. Okay, this is data. So this is very simple. No, I am going to install HTTP server. Okay, Apache server I am going to install, and I am going to create a web page. Just it is going to display welcome from host. No, it is going to display. So just I will copy this. Okay, and I will paste it over here. Okay. So some issues. Okay. Yeah, it's done. Okay. So I have done. I have copy and paste this particular user data. So when you are launching the instance, you have to know something about user data. Okay. When you are launching your instance, what has to be done by that particular instance? You have to provide the user data. Okay. Either no, what you can do is either you can provide at this time, or after creating instance, no, you can run this command, so that no, it will be you can install a website. Right? Yes, correct. Okay. Now, yeah, I hope you understand this. Yes. So now what I have done, I have added the subnet. I have added the network to in which network I am going to create this particular EC2 instance subnet. Then I have assigned the public IP address, then user data. Now again, now this is very, very important. Add storage. Now you see here, this is root volume. I am going to use general purpose SSD. These are the different types of volumes available over here. Okay. Now you see, this is a root volume. So it's not a EBS volume. So what will happen when I am deleting this particular resource, particular EC2 instance, the data will be deleted from this particular instance. It will not be stored. So if you want to do that, I can wait to go for EBS volume. You understand? That is an important thing you have to know over here. Okay, if you want to persist the data, you have to go for EBS volume. Okay. Now by default, no, this is instance volume. So instance, whatever data you are storing in instance volume, it will not be persisted. That you have to know clearly. So since it's a demo, and now I am not going for EBS volume. Why? The reason is this is cost. I have to pay money for this. Okay. So this is what you have to know clearly about storage. So now I am going to add the tags. Okay, I will add some tags over here. Tag will be what? NSCET. Okay. Yeah, now you see, you have to configure the security group. That is very, very important. Now you see here, by default, SSH, no, SSH, if you want to log into your particular virtual machine, for the remote, we will use SSH. Okay. So now you see, if you want to log in with SSH, by default, SSH will be enabled. Okay. Now I have deployed web application. Yes, I have deployed web application in user data. I have deployed a web application. So what I have to do is, I had to add a rule to allow HTTP. Okay, HTTP I have to allow. You understand, security group is very, very, very important. Okay, if you want to protect your instance from the attack. Okay, so now again you see here, anywhere you see, you can provide the from which IP address you to access this instance, that you can provide over here. If it is 0.0.0.0/0, you can access from any IP address. I can access this particular EC2 instance. Okay, so now you see, I am allowing only two protocols. I am going to allow HTTP protocol and SSH. I am going to allow. I am not going to allow POP3, and I am not going to allow HTTPS also. It will not be allowed. This protocol will not be allowed for this particular instance. Okay, so security group is very, very important. This is inbound security group. I am going to know. Outbound security rule is also there, that I will explain when after creating the instance. Okay, in this case, we are providing inbound security rule. Okay, so now if you want some rules, no, you can add this. Whatever application you have to access, no, that you can provide over here. Okay, now everything is ready. Yes, I think all the parts are ready. Now I am going to launch this. Okay, so now you see you can review. Okay, first you got to review that. You see, this is for T2.micro. Security groups is there. Then instance store. You see here, there is no elastic block storage. Only the instance store is there. So instance store, it is volatile. Data will not be stored permanently. Now you go to storage. Okay, then tag. I have given some tags. Okay, so I'm ready. I have reviewed it. Everything is fine. Yes. Now what I can do? I can launch the instance. Okay. So now you see here, you can give a key pair. Already I mentioned that for if you want to provide some more security, you can go for a key pair. Now I am not going to add a key pair. So now I am proceeding without the key pair. Okay. Now you see. So you see here, within 2 minutes, I can spin up with a new fresh EC2 instance. Okay, that will happen. It's now launch instance. Yeah, now the instance is ready. This is what I insisted more when I am explaining about advantages of cloud. This is one of the important advantages. No? Go global in minutes, or agility. Within a short span of time, you can create an instance, you can launch your application. Okay. So now you see what I'm going to do is I am going to see all the instances. Okay, view instances. Yeah, now you see my instance is ready. Okay, NSC EC2 instance is ready. It's running. Okay, in availability zone is there. You see public IP address is assigned. Okay, so with this public IP address, now I can access this instance. Okay, now you see you can find all the details is working fine. Yes. So as now we can go for instance. No, you see you can go for security groups. So you see security groups. Yeah. Now this is a recent security group. Yes. You see here what I have done. Outbound. No, it is. I already told that outbound security rule is there. So it, by default, no, we are allowing all the traffic can go out from this particular instance. But inbound rule is very, very important. You have to provide this. No, you see here. HTTP access I am going to provide. Okay. Yes, that's the 3 security rules are going to provide. Okay. So now many topics are there. Since there is no time, I am skipping this. No, you see here you can find elastic IP. Yes, key pairs. No, load balancing. So this will take some couple of 1 or 2 hours. No, for spending. I have to spend volumes. No. Yes. Okay, that's all. Okay. Now we see what I am going to do is I am going to launch the application. Okay, I have to launch the application. Yes, now go to instances. Yeah, now just click the instance. Yeah, now you see this is IP address. Okay, so now just you click open. Yeah. Now we can see whether application is launched or not. Slash, ready. Okay, our application is ready. So yes, you see here 192 dot. This the test page is coming over here. Okay, slash no slash. I can put index dot html. See, so some issue is there. Okay, so now I'm getting something. Yes, 132 dot. You see here 132.126.24.0. So now you see here, this is the public IP address which is assigned to you. Okay. Now I will show you one more concept over here. That is elastic IP. Okay, you can purchase the IP. Okay, so again you have to know you have to pay some money for elastic IP. Cost is incurred for elastic IP. That's the thing. No, it's a hidden cost. We can tell. Okay, that's the thing. No, you think that no, your IP is free, but you have to pay for IP. And create an associated elastic IP for this particular instance. So you see, since it's a demo, no, I'm not going to purchase IP. If you want to use this instance for long term, for more than 3 months or 4 months, no, you can go for elastic IP. You can purchase the elastic IP and you can associate this elastic IP to this particular instance. Okay. In my case, since it's a demo, now I am not going to assign elastic IP. Yes, that's the thing. No? This is the IP address which is assigned by default. Now again you got to know one more thing over this. If you are rebooting this, the same IP address will not be assigned again. That is another disadvantage of using this IP address. So that only we are moving to elastic IP. Okay. So you see, I can, but now if I am restarting, it will take some more time. So I'm not going to show that. So this IP address is not persistent. Okay, it's not permanent. The reason is once you relaunch this particular instance, this IP address will be modified. Okay, understand? So if you want to use the same IP for more days or more month, you have to go for elastic IP. Okay, you have to purchase elastic IP. Okay, so that's all a short demo how to launch EC2 instance. Okay, you see within a short span. So since I explained, it take me nearly 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes for launching the instance. Okay, but in a real scenario, what you can do is within a few minutes, you can launch instance. Okay, again if template is there, within seconds you can launch the instance. So if the template is there, within 3 seconds you can launch the instance. Again, we have some infrastructure as a code. The infrastructure as a code concept is there. Using that, by code we can launch the instance. We did not want to click buttons, or we did not want to create GUI. We did not want to use this graphical user interface for creating the instance. Instead of that, we had to use what AWS. I think that service, I don't know, that's AWS service is there, or we can use Terraform. Okay, Terraform, I am familiar with Terraform. Or Terraform you can use. Okay, Cloud Formation. Sorry, yes, I got that. No, you can use AWS Cloud Formation for creating the infrastructure as a code. Okay, so that the whole infrastructure will be in a code. So by running that code, you can create the infrastructure. Okay, so that's something from coordinators. Please, it's time, I think. So we had to move to Alibaba. Hello. Yeah. Shall we proceed with the Alibaba Cloud, or we can wind up? No? Sir?
Proceed.
We can proceed, madam. The time it is 3:30. It will take another 15 minutes. I think 10 to 15 minutes it will take. So whether any constraint is there in your college, can I proceed, or we can wind up?
We proceed, Gavaskar.
Okay, madam. I will proceed. Okay. Sorry. It has taken few more time. So I got some questions in chat. I will answer this later. So now you see, I hope you got a short understanding. Okay, how to create a resource in AWS. Yes, how to create a resource, or how to spin up with AWS with the EC2 instance in AWS without transaction. Okay, perfect. Yes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the same instance in the Alibaba Cloud. Okay, so we can see that. Now just you go to dashboard. So I'm not going to explain more about the dashboard. Okay, it will take some more time. So now this is a dashboard. You go to EC2 instance. Okay, see here, Elastic Compute Service. Now you see the what difference is there. In AWS, it is Elastic Compute Cloud, EC2. Here in Alibaba, it is Elastic Compute Service, ECS. That's the difference. Okay, now you see, just you click this. So this is the key things you have to know clearly. When you are moving to multiple clouds, the name will be changing. Yeah. So now you see the Alibaba Cloud GUI will be somewhat different when you are comparing with AWS as well as Azure. Yes, you can find. You see, these are the different set of options which is present. You can manage the EC2 instance. Now you see, this is what I have created already. I have created one instances. It's running. Okay, now I can stop this. Okay, so now you see, I'm going to create an EC2 instance. Yes, it's not EC2. So I got no. Normally, no, we will get confused. No, EC2, ECS instance. I'm going to create ECS instance over here. So create instance. I just click create instance. Okay. Yeah. So and now you see here, the Alibaba Cloud GUI is little bit different when comparing to AWS as well as Azure. The reason is, you see, you can get the price over here. Okay, but in case of AWS, no, we will get the price after using the instance. Okay, we will not get the price at the instance. We will not get the price. That's the main difference. Okay, you see here. Now I will go for pay as you go instance. I'm not going for subscription instance, not going for preemptible instance. Okay, so now where I am going to launch the instance in Mumbai. Okay, so now you can provide the option over here whether randomly Alibaba Cloud has to choose the zone, or you can choose the zone. Now you see, I am going to launch this particular instance in zone A. Okay. So now you see, different set of instances are there. You see here, different set of instances is there, and corresponding price incurred for this particular instance will be there. You see here, if I am using this instance, no, it will cost 0.098 USD. If I am using this instance, 0.392, okay, you see, this is the lowest price instance available. Okay. So since it's a demo, the workload, there is no workload. So I am going to use this instance. Okay. I'm not going for this instance. You see here, this instance is 3.72 USD per hour. That's what we can use this kind of instance for big data workloads. Okay, if big data workloads are there, we can use that instance. Now I am going with the basic instance. Okay, basic instance, which is for 0.098 USD. Okay, so now you move down. Okay, so now how many instances you have to create? Okay, normally it is one. Okay, so now you see here, you can provide public image, custom image. Okay, custom image, no, what is custom image? You can create an image for this particular instance, which you are going to create, and you can add it over here. It will cost additionally. Okay, so I am not going to do that. Shared image, no, from some other account, you can get some image and you can add it over here. And marketplace from Alibaba Cloud Marketplace, you can get the instance. Okay, that I am not going to do that. So if I am clicking this, no, it will take to the market page, and from that page, I can get the instance. Okay, get the it will cost something. Okay, so now I am proceeding with the public image. Now, yes, now I'm going with the Alibaba Cloud image. Okay, there previously, it is Amazon Machine image, here Alibaba Cloud Linux. Now I have to choose the version. Okay, so now you go down. Now you see, you have to choose the storage. You see, Ultra Disk 40 GB. I'm going with 40 GB. Okay, storage you have to choose. Now you see the price is slowly increasing. Okay, slowly increasing. 0.12 USD is coming now. Now you see backup period. Whether you have to take a snapshot of this particular instance so that you can have high availability over this instance. Okay, if any disaster occurs, you can restore the instance from this backup. That's possible. Okay, you can state the backup policy. You have to create a backup policy. So now I'm not going to create the backup policy. You should be very careful. If you're creating backup policy, it will be cost additionally. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. Default backup policy is there. I'm not going to provide some backup policy. Now this is some other difference between AWS and Alibaba. So now you have to go to next. Okay. So now you see here, you have to choose the VPC. Okay. You see, I'm going to choose some VPC. Okay, I'm going to choose different VPC, cloud-based VPC, or any VPC I can choose. Okay. And this I am going to create a switch. Okay. Now you have to know clearly here. This is switch over here. But in case of AWS, this subnet. Okay. Now you see, you have to assign public IPv4 address. You have to assign. Now you see how we are going to pay. It's pay by traffic or pay by bandwidth. Okay, you have to pay for this. I already told that it is not free. Using IP address is not free. So you have to pay for that. Okay. So now resource group, security group. I told already, you see, security group. Okay, is there. By default, no, I have assigned one security group. So it's not an issue. I am not going to create a new security group. Reason is it will take some time. Okay. So security group is present, which is present in AWS as well as for the Alibaba cloud. Okay, security group is very, very important. If you want to protect your ECS instance in Alibaba cloud or EC2 instance in AWS, you have to go for security group. Okay. Now, Elastic Network Interface, again, it is by default, it is created. We do not want to do that. We are not moving to IPv6 now. Till now, we are not using IPv6, we are using IPv4. No? In future, no, IPv6 will be used. Okay. So now next. Yeah. So now we can provide the instance name over here. Now we can provide some description. Okay, I'm providing some description. Now host name. So I'm not going to provide anything. Okay. Now you can find, you see here, you can find the casting code for this particular instance. Now again next. Yeah. So now you see, you have to group this resource. Second resource group. You see here, I'm going to do resource group as demo. So that now you can categorize the resource. That is very, very important. If you are dealing with hundreds of resources, if you are not categorizing the resource, it is difficult to find resource, difficult to allocate policy. No, if you are to allocate policy, no resource group. So if you did not want to allocate policy individually for each and every groups, you can assign policy for the resource group, and that resource group can be associated with this particular resource, and the particular resource will get the resource, inherit the resource policy from that resource group. Okay, that's the thing. If you want, I can show that also. It's a resource group I have created. Alibaba Cloud has a good GUI for the resource group. See here, by this, the single page, you can get all the resources. You see here, default resource group 40 resources are there. Okay, in this particular demo, 4 resources are running. I can get whole picture of the resources which is running in my Alibaba Cloud. Okay, this kind of feature is present in. Okay, now you see what I'm going to do is deployment set. Again, already this is nothing but a placement set, placement group. Placement group in AWS. Here we tell us deployment set. I'm not going to do that. Yes, now next. So yeah, one more thing is billing. Okay, the source login credentials I will provide. Okay. So yeah, see here. Yeah, you see. Now login credentials, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use key pair, I'm going to provide a password. Okay, so I'm going to provide some password for this. Yeah, ready? Yes, now next. Now you can review the instance. Okay. Now you see, I told already. Now you save this as a launch template. Okay. So if you save this as a template, what will happen? Next time, you did not want to provide all the steps. You can launch from the template. Okay, that's another feature that you know over here. The same feature is present in AWS also. I know it will take some more time for explaining that. Okay. So now just you click. Now you see you can find the cost over here. Okay. Now create instance. Yeah, it's ready. Created. Instance is created. Now go to console. Yeah, it's ready. Our instance is running. Yes. Okay. I think where I create, yes. Wait, yes. Now just you click this. Yeah. Now you see you got the public IP address. Default public address. We copy this public IP address. Now you see you can connect to the instance. You can find you can create a cloud disk. Okay, additional disk if you want to attach, you can do that. You can create a snapshot. Okay. So this is the way already I attached one disk. It's present over here. Okay, security groups. You see security groups. Now you see if we have to see that you have to enable SSH. Now I am not going to deploy an application of this. Okay, so I have to enable SSH. It will be there. It will be enabled. Okay, so I think it will be enabled. Okay, so this is security group. Okay, now you see what I am going to do is I'm going to connect this particular instance. Okay, so I open terminal. Okay, SSH at I provide this for IP address. Okay, 140. Yeah, you have to go to overview and you can find, you have to find the IP address of this particular instance. Okay. Yeah, study. Yes, we have got the IP address. Just you copy this. Now, yeah, it's 149. Do not, it's not different, no. Okay, so just copy this. And this is root. Okay. Over the root. Password. It is asking password. Yeah, boom. It's got no. It's got no. Welcome to Alibaba Cloud Elastic Compute Services connected. Yes, that's a demo on how to spin up with Alibaba Cloud ECS instance. Okay, that's it. So now you see you can find the monitoring. You can monitor the instance from here. No? You see you can find how the CPU utilization is going on. It will take some time for getting, memory utilization is how it's going on. This IO place is how it's going on. Everything can come over here. And here also the option is there, Elastic IP. So you see, you can find Elastic IP over here. I think this is a separate service over here. Okay, you see, you can go here. Yeah, that's separate service over here. Okay, so that also Elastic IP. Yeah, you see, Elastic IP. So this is a separate service. So now what you can do is, if you can purchase Elastic IP and you can associate this Elastic IP to the ECS instance which you have created. Now you see, internet gateway is there, NAT gateway is there. So that's the thing. You see, it's all the terms, common terms are present over here. Okay. So if you want to connect with the internet, you can go for internet gateway or NAT gateway. Okay, IPv4 gateway. Yes. So that's the thing regarding Alibaba Cloud. Now you see, I will show a short description on how to create in Azure. Okay, I will not create this, so I will show you so that virtual machine. Go to home. Now you see virtual machine. The TAM is different. When you are going to Azure, the TAMs there it will be different. When you are comparing Azure with Alibaba or AWS, the TAMs will be different. Let's go to virtual machines. Yes. So I think for me there is yeah, you see GUI is somewhat different. No? When you are going for now, you see Azure virtual machine. Okay, Azure virtual machine. Yeah, you see here, you have to provide a subscription. Again, you see, my subscription is not enabled for creating a resource. So now what you have to do? You have to choose the image. Okay, this is what image, no? We choose, you have to choose. I have to choose the resource group. Okay, resource group you have to choose. Yes. Now you see authentication type. You can provide password or SSH public key you can provide. Then username you can provide. Okay, all the things is similar. No, you see here. Now inbound traffic. Inbound ports, which are the ports you got enabled. That's inbound port here. No, there is inbound traffic. Here it is inbound ports. Okay, you see SSH we are enabling. Whether we are to enable HTTP, can enable that. You understand that? Go over here. Now again, disk space. Now you see here, I am going to provide some disk. Okay. Now encryption, you can encrypt it. Now network option you have to provide. You see here, which virtual network? You see. We have to create a virtual network. Okay, subnet again same thing. It's a public IP address. Okay, then you see security group. Okay, inbound public address. Now they are associating this inbound ports. You are going to associate. Now again, next management. Okay, so now you are going to provide. If you want to connect with Azure Direct, Active Directory, you can do that. But I'm not going to do this now. Now monitoring. So you can enable monitoring. Okay, advanced. Now you see here custom data. If you want to provide in this AWS, we will tell that as user data, and in Alibaba, we will tell that as a metadata. Okay, I didn't show that. No, it's metadata. Here it is custom data. So if you want to provide some details which has to be loaded when you are launching the instance, that you can provide in custom data. Then of course tags, no. Then finally you have to create. Now I cannot create this, no. I am very sorry. I have no subscription for creating this. Okay. So I think no, you can spin up. So you have free. I think free tier is there for 12 months. You can use freely, and 750 hours you can use freely, no. So you can spin up with your free tiers, no. So that's all. Now I'm going to So that's the thing we learned in this demo. We learned how to launch EC2 instance in AWS and ECS instance in Alibaba, and how to create a virtual machine in Azure. Okay, we have done that. Okay, so now moving to some key takeaways. Yeah, so I hope we'll be providing from multi-cloud for you. We'll be providing a level 1 certificate for all the participants once we are getting the corresponding details from the particular institution. Okay, so since more people are watching in YouTube and in auditorium, so now I cannot provide the certificate. So once we get the your names, email ID, we will provide the certificate to your email ID. Okay, so that's all from the key takeaways. I think I have done my best. Okay, so any doubts? Now we can move to the doubts or Q&A session. Yeah, we have got some. What is IP address? What we enter in already existing in the cloud? Will it give us an indication to change? Yes, that's the thing. No, IP address. I have to deal with IP address. So students, please know when you are launching the instance. So when you are launching the instance, it will provide the public IP address. But what is the thing is, this public IP address will be changed when you are relaunching the instance, or when you are rebooting the instance, the public IP address will be changed. So what we have to do is, we have to purchase a elastic IP. Okay, elastic IP we have to purchase. In Alibaba Cloud, we'll tell that as elastic IP, as well as in Alibaba AWS also we'll tell that as elastic IP. We have to purchase elastic IP, and we have to associate that elastic IP to that particular instance. Okay, that's the thing you have to know clearly. Okay, so any more doubts you can ask. So I think it is time is due to time constraint. I think I cannot explain explain more, but I think that I was covered the core parts. Okay, core part is nothing but creating a VPC. It's a basic thing. No? In all the cloud, we will create a VPC. Yes, but the name will be different. Yes, but in case of Azure, it may be a virtual network. In case of AWS, it may be virtual private cloud, and again in case of Alibaba Cloud, again it's a virtual private cloud. If you want to launch any services, we have to create a VPC. Yes, it's the mandatory. No? Without creating VPC, we can launch one other service, that S3. That's blob storage or S3. No, there is no VPC is needed for launching that particular service. But rest of the service, no, we have to launch VPC. Yes, once we launch the VPC, what we had to do is, we had to add some resources to that VPC. Either it may be EC2 instance or some other services we will add. Either it is RDS instance, it's a database cluster, you may be adding to that particular VPC. Okay, so if you want to land master in multi-cloud, you have to be master in VPC as well as the basic service, that is EC2 instance. And you have to know the different services, different types of service. I can tell you some more example. You consider serverless service. Serverless service in AWS, we will tell that as AWS Lambda. It's one of the serverless service. No, it's AWS Lambda. The same service in Alibaba Cloud, we will tell that as a function compute. Yes, the same service again in Azure, we will tell that as Azure functions. Okay, then again the same service we will tell in Google Cloud as Cloud Run. Okay, this is a thing we have to know clear. Again, few more services if you are going for services. No, one service is there. Without infrastructure or without creating infrastructure, you can load your application. No, that will tell us Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, the same service now will tell web app in Alibaba Cloud. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, then again here we will tell that as Azure functions in Azure. Like this, no, this is advanced thing what I'm telling. But the basic thing is the networking part. It's basic, and how to launch the instance is the basic thing. So I think I have covered that within this short span of time. Actually, this topic will take 3 days to cover. I say 3 days. One day I have to cover Alibaba Cloud. One day I have to cover Azure. One day I have to cover AWS. But I think that I have covered most of the part, and I advise the students to use the free tier. Free tier is available. You can use the free tier and try to experience different cloud service providers available. Okay, so I think that I have made a trigger with you. I have created a trigger on you. Yes, that's okay. If you have any more doubts, you can just ask. Okay, or over to I hand the session over to the coordinators. Okay. Okay, my son. Any more doubts? I hope any more doubts for you. So again, one more small advice. Nowadays you see we are getting in our organization, we are getting people's more number of openings are there. When we are dealing with people's they may know Alibaba Cloud. Or in India, the people will not be knowing Alibaba Cloud, but they may know me about AWS. When we are deploying them in a hybrid environment, a hybrid cloud, it's very difficult for us. We have to teach AWS to them, how to work with the AWS, everything we have to teach them. It's very difficult for us. Nowadays, projects are like that. I already mentioned that. Azure Data Factory. Now I am working with Azure Data Factory. I am working with Azure Data Factory. I am ingesting more than 100 GB of files in Azure Data Factory. And where this file resides, the file is residing in S3, AWS storage, AWS object storage. Sometimes the file may be in Alibaba Cloud, Alibaba Cloud object storage service, OSS. We tell in Alibaba, we tell that as object storage service. So now we have to be familiar in Alibaba Cloud object storage service, and you have to be familiar with the APIs. Normally, the API programming is getting some momentum over here. So you have to know what are the APIs or what are the SDKs present for that particular accessing that particular Alibaba Cloud object storage service. So you understand that's the thing. That is the real scenario is happening like that. We are not going to be working with the Azure alone or AWS alone or Alibaba Cloud alone. There will be mixture of services, mixture of clouds. That's we tell us multi-cloud, or you can give a different name for this. That is a hybrid cloud. Okay, that's okay. So any more doubts? So I think I have taken a lot of time. Okay, that's all. Any doubts from participants? You can just any coordinators, you can convey the doubts, so that I will clear that.
Thank you, sir. In spite of your busy schedule, you spend your valuable time with us by providing a very good idea in multi-cloud technology. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Rudra Naigi to give feedback. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful deliverance. We got a very good idea about multi-cloud technology and virtual private cloud. We had a great opportunity to learn about what is VPC and Amazon Easy Instance. We had a clear knowledge about how to create virtual private cloud and EC2 in Amazon, Alibaba and Azure. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Ravi. Now I invite Ms. S.K. Swati to deliver the vote of thanks. Good evening, everyone. It is such an honor for me to get the opportunity to purpose vote of thanks. I would like to express my gratitude to our secretaries, Mr. A. Rajkumar sir and Mr. A. Myself for the presence. Thank you, sir. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our joint secretary, Mr. S. Navitam sir. Thank you, sir. A special mention to our respected principal, Dr. C. Malishkar sir, for providing immense support. Thank you, sir. I would like to our vice principal, Mr. N. Madhavan sir, for his constant support. Thank you, sir. And also extend my warm thanks to our placement officer, Dr. C. Karthikeyan sir, for being inspiration to everyone. Thank you, sir. I extend my gratitude to Mr. J. Mahendra sir, head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, for organizing that webinar. Thank you, sir. A special thanks to the man of today's program, Mr. S. Kavaskar, for spreading his valuable time to grace the occasion. We have got a lot of information about multi-cloud technology which will surely encourage us in all the future endeavors. I must thank all teaching and non-teaching faculties, the organizing team, volunteers for working hard for the past few weeks to make this webinar a successful one. Thank you everyone once again for making a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, Swati. Now I request you all to stand for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जगति तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जाहे तब शुभ आशीष माहे जाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे